would you like to start with some fresh oysters?
Not really an oyster person.
I'm not really an oyster person.
Oh, wait. Okay, that's better. Okay.
Well, these might change your mind. No? Well,
He must come here often. What a lifestyle.
Evelyn, I've wanted to ask, what brings you back?
Back.
Back to the world, the land of the living. I know you were having a difficult time after what happened.
Sure, I don't know. I guess I thought it was time. Finally.
Yes, I understand. Every trauma takes time. Time to heal, or if not heal exactly, at least to move on. And taking action is a good way to do that. So I salute you. You want to do his memory right, don't you?
Whose memory?
Whose?
Damien, of course. Are you sure you're okay? Your reappearance happens to coincide with a critical time for me. As you saw, I've just split with Skanda in a very public way in order to pursue an entrepreneurial path. Presumably, Raynor's found you as well.
Yeah, he said he wants to speak with me.
It's a war for talent out there. People like you are very much in demand. I'm sure he'll try to make you an offer you can't refuse. That's why I want you to promise me you won't work for that asshole.
Okay.
Asshole. I had no idea you hated Raynor so much. What happened?
What happened? He came in as CEO, that's what happened. So cultured, all the right credentials, Harvard, Goldman Sachs, all that nonsense.
He sounds a bit jealous.
A little princeling was never wanted in his life, never known what it's like to suffer.
Whoa.
You don't get even a little upset at that? I do the opposite of what a guy like that wants me to do just to spite him. That's what my instincts say, and my instincts are what led me to where I am now. Standing at the edge of this brand new territory. Direct stimulation, induced dreaming. Can you picture it? Therapeutic reality delivered right through your nervous system. It'll revolutionize the entire field of mental health. Not to mention the applications for productivity, training, entertainment. Imagine the kinds of dreams people would have on demand if they could.
The potential for misuse seems kind of high.
Sure, we'll work on those things.
Okay.
The important thing right now is to build momentum. I have first mover advantage here, but only for a small amount of time.
Mover advantage.
Evelyn, I need a chief engineer, and I can't think of anyone better suited than you. You could be at the vanguard of a whole new field, in on the ground floor of this extremely interesting and potentially very lucrative business.
Well, we were a developer at Eliza.
Listen, I know that things were not always the best in the past, and some of those things may have been because of me. Believe me, I'm aware of my own failings better than anyone. And if you're concerned about working for me again for that reason, I'll understand. But I hope you're thinking for yourself on this one. I'm sure there are people who are telling you to ignore me, or that I have the wrong idea, or that I'm dangerous. Whatever you choose to believe, I at least want to offer you the chance to get a demo of this technology. It really does work, and it's really something else.
Ooh, maybe we can try it.
Won't you give it a try?
We should.
I'll think about it.
Considering it is all I ask.
Søren smiles as if remembering a secret.
So, what are you doing after this?
After dinner?
Yes, tonight is... You remember Nora, right? Did you know she's a DJ now?
Oh, she's a DJ, okay.
Yeah, I did. She's the one who told me about your talk.
Oh, she was there too. I should have said hello.
Well, she wasn't really. She gave us the ticket.
No, I don't think she attended. She just told me about it.
Well, her show is tonight. If we take a car after dinner, we could get there with plenty of time to settle in.
Actually, that's a pretty good idea.
It'd be good to support your old friend, don't you think?
Didn't we promise her to actually go to the show as well? Yeah.
Sure.
No need to be frightened. I mean, I know it's a jouissance, which is...
Jouissance? What does that mean?
Which is what?
Oh, you don't know. As a performance space, it has a bit of a theme to it. It's pretty tame, really. They take on the aesthetic, but it's not necessarily the whole point of it. It's for people who want the image of the thing, the trappings, without getting in too deep with the real culture.
What are you talking about? What theme?
Oh, I didn't mention? It's sort of, well, there's a little bit of bondage theme there.
Oh, wow.
You know, BDSM.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Though perhaps I shouldn't say how I know.
Okay. What should I do? Okay, so it's a DJ event, which is... So it's a bondage DJ event. We should go for Nora's sake.
I'll go, for Nora's sake.
That's the spirit. It happens to be tonight, so we should seize the moment. Don't worry, it isn't a date. Not unless you want it to be.
I don't know. We just say Soren.
Soren?
Yeah, okay. I'm working on it, trust me.
Soren drains the rest of his drink.
Let's go after we wrap up here.
How is it possible that I feel old and Soren is acting like he's in his 20s? I haven't been on a concert at club after dinner in years. We step inside, and a blast of warm air hits me. It's already bustling with activity here. I don't see any bondage stuff here, though. What was he on about?
I thought you said this was like some S&M club.
Yeah, what happened with that?
Oh, well, they might have taken all of that stuff down since the last I was here.
Why do you even mention it
Are
then?
you sure you're remembering this place correctly?
Yeah, exactly. That's a bit weird.
Actually, would you excuse me for a moment?
Where is he going
I
now?
want to talk to those people over there.
Soren points at a group of women chatting with each other at the
Are
bar.
those people you know?
He doesn't know them.
Not currently, but hopefully I can change that.
Wait, Soren, I don't know anybody.
He's such a player. He's already gone. Why is he like this? Abandoned the second I walk in? Okay. Now I have to sit here by myself acting like I'm cool enough to be here on my own. Great. Oh, this is awkward. I would never do this. We have our phone, you know, so that could keep us company. We got a new email from a Sarah Kurshatova. Okay, meeting with Raina. Evelyn, we are scheduled to meet with Raina at 9:20 a.m. tomorrow morning. I will have a car come pick you up at Queen Anne office. You will need to check in at the front desk, but you do not need to sign an NDA as your old one still applies. The meeting is expected to last around 20 minutes. Let me know if you have any questions. Regards, Sarah Kurshatova, Senior Administrative Assistant, SCADA Inc. Our deeds determine us as much as we determine our deeds. Well, okay. Right, okay, so basically we have a meeting 9:20 tomorrow with Raina, the CEO. Okay, anything else we can do here? Should we hit the bar? Look at the DJ set. I wonder how many of these bands are still around. Hopefully some of them at least. I think we're going to check out the DJ first and then hit the bar. Yeah. Nora's setup is pretty simple. Knowing her taste for optimization, I'm sure she's going to use it very efficiently. Okay. What's a good drink to get at a place like this? Something strong, I think. Nora almost runs to the table when she sees me.
Evelyn!
Evelyn! Thank goodness I've been rescued.
I'm so happy you came.
I ended up here somehow.
Yeah, I ended up here somehow. Soren came too, but he ditched me to chat up some people. He said he thought this was like an S&M club or something.
What do you know about that, Nora?
What? No, it's not like that at all. Where did he get that idea?
I don't know. Maybe he just hoped it was.
Who cares? I wasn't interested in seeing Soren. I wanted to see you.
I wanted to see you too.
I have a little bit of setup left to do. Do you want to come help?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, but you'll have to tell me what to do.
Oh, it's simple. I'll show you.
Nora leads me to the stage area. Ooh, okay. There are multiple pieces of equipment connected by huge tangles of thick wires. Looking at the setup, I realize I really know nothing about electronic music.
Are these modulars?
Some of them. The one over there with all the cables coming out of it, that one is a modular.
They all have cables coming out of them.
This one?
No, the one with the little colored cables on the front.
Oh, okay.
I'm still not sure what piece of gear she's talking about.
The others are not modular. They're just regular synthesizers.
Okay, are you... is each one of these going to make a different sound?
Where should we start?
Nora points towards a small plastic keyboard on the table. It's bright red and kind of looks like a toy.
This is an SH-101. It's really hot. I love the sound. It's useful for piercing leads, you know, noises like that. I use it quite a lot.
I'm listening.
Nora points to another large synthesizer. This one is black with brown wood paneling on the sides and silver dials on the front.
This is a Moog. You've heard of a Moog, right?
I've heard the name, maybe. It's not Moog? I guess I never heard anyone say it aloud.
Nope. Moog.
Moog, okay.
Moog, not Moog. Okay. I'm not sure I can handle this all at once.
Nora doesn't hear me. Instead, she holds up a small white and silver box. It looks like a wide pencil case with dials and little blue lights on it.
Surely you know about this one. It's a Roland TB-303. You know, the acid house sound.
Acid house.
House.
It's just as well. This is not an ordinary model, of course.
Nora points at some words on the front panel. Devil Fish.
The Devil Fish 303 is a modified, upgraded version of the original. A guy in Australia does it. Oh, they're really awesome.
Aftermarket modifications for electronic music gear. This is seriously a whole world in itself.
Evelyn, why don't I teach you some of these things? Might do you some good to learn something new. You could come over sometime and we can make some noise together.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Nora plugs in more cables, creating a spaghetti-like arrangement that stretches across the entire table.
All right, that should do it. Thanks for your help.
No problem.
No problem.
Time for me to shake this place into the ground.
Oh, her DJ set is going to begin. Nora disappears into the back to get ready. Meanwhile, Soren returns from his conversation at the bar looking slightly dispirited.
Ah, time for the main event. Funny to see Nora like this, isn't it?
He didn't get lucky. Ah, yeah.
She's come a long way from the timid junior programmer I remember. Interesting stage name, too. Little Sappho.
Little Sappho, okay.
You know what Sappho indicates, don't you?
I don't think we do. Sappho doesn't sound familiar.
Sappho? What's a Sappho?
Oh, okay, of course you know. That was a silly question. I apologize.
Nora comes back on stage, ready to start her set for real now. People are cheering for her already. It seems like she's getting a following here. Nora begins to press buttons on equipment. For a while everything is silent. The temperature in here seems to get even hotter. Then, noise begins to flow from the speakers as the crowd cheers again. It's harsh noise. Distorted. Glitchy.
Did you know Nora was capable of creating work like this?
I didn't even know this was music.
No, I had no idea. I'm as surprised as anyone.
Soren can't stop a weird smile from forming on his lips. Maybe he thinks he can't see him. I can't see him in the dark, or maybe he's just lost in the
I thought
moment.
she was wonderful before, but now...
It feels like Soren is into this. The music builds with a huge thumping noises. It's chaotic, but has a certain logic to it. It feels like Nora is leading us somewhere. The anticipation builds and builds. When it happens, totally without warning. Wow, Nora. Goodness. This piece is really intense. I forgot why I don't go to concert anymore. It feels like it's going through my body, vibrating my sternum like an instrument. It's a slow beat, measured, but there's something about it, it feels sensual. Or maybe should I say horny? Yeah, this piece is just lewd somehow. How can a piece of music feel so dirty? It sounds like a robot sex grinding or something. Nora looks busy operating her equipment. I have no idea what she's doing to create these sounds. Every once in a while though, she glances up at the crowd, a slight curl on her lips. Then she looks in my direction with the same smirk. Her eye seems to ask me, "So, what do you think?" But as I meet her gaze, I'm too overwhelmed to send any particular message. I can't think of anything except that it's loud. I feel like I'm disorienting. This is why people go to concerts, to feel like you're being obliterated by sound. It's not a bad feeling. Some of the people in the club really do like they're in a trance. This is pretty amazing. I really had no idea Nora had this kind of energy inside of her. I remember she was a good programmer, someone who wanted to do a good job. But this power, where did it come from? The noises crushed together, collapsing on top of each other, yet they still make sense. The crowd is dancing, united, electric. Somehow I feel like Nora is running me ragged without touching me. I might need another drink. As the performance winds on late into the night, I stop trying so hard to process what's going on and just let things happen. I'm fine. I don't always need to understand what I'm hearing or seeing. It's too big, too loud to interpret anyway. Soren disappeared at some point. I don't care. Everything is churning, sloshing, washing over. A wave breaking onto a rocky shore and dashed into mist. Okay, so we're back home in our flat. Wait. Where is it? Where is this? Oh, it's home. I'm not really sure how I got here. Good that I'm here though, right? Here in bed. Okay, wait, I remember now. I took a car. Everything is fine. I guess I did it then. I went out and I did a thing. That was fun, I think. It was nice to see Nora. I don't think my body is very happy with me right now though. Ugh. I think I just close my eyes and rest for another second before I get ready for bed properly. Chapter 3. Alright, we have a meeting with the CEO, Raina, 9:20. Okay. Raina's assistant meets me at the reception area with an impressive look. She leads me through the building towards its center. Everything is glass and steel, clean and bright. Employees steal curious glances at me. Am I curiosity to them? It's hard to believe this used to be my whole world. Eventually, we come to a conference room where Raina is finishing a meeting. Oh, it looks very sharp.
Nice building.
Oh, thank you. I designed it myself.
Of course you did.
It's funny, I almost didn't notice that you were already back working for Skanda. You might have stayed undetected, but I was looking at some of our statistical outliers earlier this morning.
Uh-huh.
Statistical outlier. That's me.
Ideally, Eliza proxies would all perform the same, or at least quite similar to each other. In practice, there are some pretty big differences. Some people respond better to advice provided to them by people they perceive as having more authority.
Okay.
A deeper voice, a taller stature, a certain grace or beauty. Other proxies may be particularly empathetic. A face or a voice that makes you want to open up.
But does Eliza analyze body language as well?
There was one proxy whose sessions seemed particularly effective, so I decided to take a closer look. Evelyn Ishino-Aubrey, contract proxy, Queen Anne office. That's a fun trick, to come back to your old company in secret. It's a rather dramatic drop in pay, isn't it? More than an order of magnitude.
I don't care about that.
But then why would you do it?
That's a good question. Why did we actually do it?
It's for research.
Research? So you're still interested in what you created? Let me get to the point. Why aren't you back here, working on the Eliza program?
Why isn't any of the old team back?
Good question. Let's see. Damien Seabrook. There's no helping that. Shame, though, for such a brilliant career to be cut so short. Soren Lloyd Rose, the former program manager, resigned just last week to found his own startup. Very cute. I'm not a psychoanalyst like he is, but I can tell his need to be a maverick, even as he benefits from the system, has been the primary destructive force in his life. He can be smart when he wants to, but just as often he gets the wrong ideas and refuses to let them go. His ego gets in the way. That's why I don't mind him leaving to pursue his little dream of being an entrepreneur, changing the world. He won't succeed, but I'm happy to let him think he has independence for now.
Wow, okay.
If his direct nerve stimulation technology ends up taking off, I can always pull the cord and yank him back. Nora Plavnicki, senior engineer. She handled a lot of the front-end interface for Eliza, which is important, but less what I'm after. Plus, I doubt she's ideologically compatible with us anymore. You've spoken with her. You know how she is now.
She's a DJ.
Seems to me she wants to rebel against everything and anything without stopping to consider whether it's truly good or bad. Not that it matters. I hope she's having fun playing with her electronic music toys.
Wow, he's trash-talking everyone.
I know she would consider her work to be art, but, well, who am I to judge?
I guess if you're a CEO, you have to have that personality.
And then there's you, Evelyn. You simply dropped away. Gone for 3 years. Why?
People keep asking me that.
I needed some time to myself.
I needed some time to myself.
Burnout isn't uncommon in our line of work. Still, 3 years is...
But it's kinda a long time. Yeah. Ooh,
It could be longer. It could be forever.
interesting answer.
Well, that's a shame though, isn't it? All that lost productivity. Who knows where we'd be if you'd stayed this whole time? You left before we began deploying, But you should know the analysts were very skeptical of us. They were saying there was nothing special about Eliza, that our competitors already had equivalent or better offerings. It's a good thing I don't listen to analysts. So far, the program's growth has exceeded every one of our targets, and we've outpaced the competition by a comfortably wide margin. We're a category definer. There's a quality to Eliza that makes it superior to all the other attempts to do something similar. You were part of the original team. Why don't you tell me what that quality is?
Whoa. I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know.
Well, let me return to my earlier question then. Why aren't you here to continue your work? You could be running the entire Eliza division if you wanted, but instead you came back undercover like a criminal returning to the scene of a crime. Is there something wrong with this company? You don't like us anymore? It's not me, is it?
I don't know.
Let's take the diplomatic answer.
You know what outstanding engineers have that mediocre ones don't? It's curiosity. Mediocre engineers tend to zero in on a single piece of the puzzle. They pursue technical breakthroughs, but ignore the larger picture. But you wanted to know how Eliza turned out, how it was working, didn't you? Even though you might have thought you wanted to put all of this behind you, you were still curious. You want to know everything. Not just how it works or if it works, but its effect on people, on society. You have that instinct, the need to understand something complex from as many angles as possible. So please, do that. Learn what you came back here to learn. And once you have what you came for, consider returning to your old employer. You can make a real difference this time.
I'll consider it.
Good. One more thing. You should go down and see Eliza for yourself. Sarah will show you the way.
Can we actually see her? Rainer hands me a blue badge with my name and a picture on it. It's my old employee badge. He held onto it.
This will get you through the doors. I've instructed the staff to treat you like an employee. Come and go as you like.
Oh, sweet.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how much your creation has grown.
I mean, we haven't signed any... Okay, we did sign the NDA, I forgot. Rainer leaves me in the conference room by myself. This company. SCADA. Oh, Nora. Gah. You okay? I'm really, really happy you came to the show. I think we're happy that we went. I know it's not your usual scene, so I'm extra happy about it. It's weird that Soren wanted to go too. Maybe he was thinking he could impress you somehow. It was funny seeing him there. Seemed to be enjoying himself though. I don't know why he wants to join this startup so badly. I don't know why he wants me to join his startup so badly. Or do you think he's just being a creep? I mean, you're a good programmer. He might actually be your technical... Wait, he might actually want your technical contribution. See? Why I'm glad I left that behind. I don't want even to think about that kind of thing anymore. I really love to make machines do things, but not in that style of environment. I'm sure he's asking you to, no? He's talking to everybody. Yeah, he is. Rainer also found me. That was fast. Did he want you back at SCADA? Yeah. I figured. This is maybe an odd question, but why don't you go into business for yourself as a contractor? You could even start your own company. I'm not really a business person. You could just be someone who does some consulting. I do that sometimes, and it's pretty good. I like the flexibility. Come in to some place, solve a specific problem, leave. Anyway, it's just a thought. We will think about it. You'll come over soon, right? Yeah. Let's say yeah. Excellent. I'm looking forward to it. Right, so we are still in the conference room here. Let's take some water. This is fresh. Must be some full-time job to take care of the water in every conference room. Tech companies are really in their own universe. Pencils and paper. I read that some tech executives avoid using tablets and smartphones these days. Even the ones their own companies make. And the TV. Giving presentations, leading meetings. I used to do those things. I wasn't bad at all at it, in fact. Could I become that person again? Okay, let's check our phone. So we have a proxy and we have... Oh, this is the meditation application. What does a fulfilled life look like? That's a good question. Eliza proxy. Ray Bukhari. Cookies. Cookies in the kitchen. Yay. Some of you have already found them, I see. There is banana bread too. What should I make next? Right. She's the one who did all the cookies in the beginning. She wanted to know our plain sugar cookies, I think. Okay, let's continue. Finally, Raina's assistant returns and escorts me from the conference room. So we're going to see Eliza now, I think. We enter an elevator and it begins going down extremely fast. It feels like we are falling into the depths of the earth. I'm not sure if I should be panicking or not. Nobody around us looks worried though, so this must be normal. The elevator opens onto a nondescript hallway with doors to either side. Looks like the secret research facility in a movie. At the very end of the corridor, we come to a special-looking entryway. Sarah holds a door open for me, but doesn't follow me through. Whoa. So this is basically a data center. A server farm? Not particularly unusual. Why did Raina send me here? He made it sound like I would learn something.
Eliza. Not the name I would have given you, if it were up to me.
It was a marketing decision.
Ireland. Or Ireland. Okay.
They thought there might be some recognition or resonance with the old version.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, I should have introduced myself. Sorry about that. I'm Erland, currently the chief engineer here, but that's probably going to be temporary.
Chief engineer? He looks like a baby. He must be fresh out of the university.
I know who you are, of course.
Oh. We are kind of famous here.
It's an honor to finally meet you, miss. As someone who works with this program every day, I've often felt close to the minds who originally designed it. So to be able to talk to you now, just as another person, it's an honor. Sorry, I already said that. I'm maybe a little overwhelmed.
No need to flatter us.
No need to flatter me about it. Honestly, I don't know if Eliza reflects me at all anymore. I mean, look at all this. There's been a ton of development since I left. I doubt I would even recognize it as something I once worked on.
I'm not so sure about that. Most of the work we've done has been in the form of layers on top of the original system. The core modules are more or less the same as they've always been. Raina reminded me that you're still subject to our non-disclosure agreements, so let me share a little secret.
Okay.
None of us really has a great understanding of what's going on in there.
Ooh.
I'm the third chief engineer Eliza's had in the 3 years since you left.
That's quite a lot of turnover.
Yeah, even for this industry.
So it's like a black box for them.
The way Rainer works is, he gives you 2 chances to do what you tell him you're going to do. After that,
There is no third chance. I know.
we get these people in who say understanding Eliza will be easy because they're familiar with the type of program it is.
Wait, we get these people in who say, okay.
And Eliza defeats them in the end.
It's not the type of program I think it is.
It's not the type of program they think it is.
Yeah. On that note, I do have some questions I'd like to ask you, if you have.
I'm not sure I'll be able to help.
Well, your deciding to work as a proxy has turned out to be an interesting test case.
Really?
As I'm sure you know, different proxies lead to slightly different client outcomes, even when we control for other variables. We're studying these specific traits that lead to the best results. Vocal qualities, proxy attitude and affect, responsiveness to the client, that sort of thing. One thing that's strange is that when you specifically serve as the proxy, clients report higher levels of satisfaction, pretty much across the board.
But we have only done it like 4 times.
Really? The ratings I get don't seem that abnormal to me.
Yeah, that's because we normalize them per proxy, so nobody feels too bad. Just a little user experience trick.
Oh, I see.
Comparatively, though, you're basically the best proxy we've ever had. Any theories on why that might be the case?
Yeah, it could be possible that Eliza and her are thinking on the
It's
same.
possible Eliza and I think along similar lines.
I've considered that. At some level, perhaps unconsciously, your design for Eliza's reasoning was based on your own internal way of reasoning. We all put something of ourselves into what we make. No matter how neutral we try to be, it sneaks in.
I can believe that.
That could account for your unusual compatibility with each other.
I mean, Eliza needs to train on something, right? So Eliza must have been training on her in the beginning.
Maybe. I certainly wasn't thinking of that when I designed it. I don't know if I like knowing this.
I'm certainly not blaming you for anything. It's just that true universality is one of our future development goals. It might be a problem if Eliza tends to like certain people more than others. Our aim is to provide quality care for everyone, regardless of any differentiating factors.
Maybe that's not possible. Maybe there isn't a single counseling style that's best for everyone.
This is true.
Well, hopefully it's just a matter of uncovering the system's biases and correcting them. We'll keep tuning things as we go, and eventually we'll have something universal, maybe with some dynamic layers on top. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it goes. There are more questions I want to ask about the initial research you were doing at the time Eliza was first created, but I'll save them for later. And I'd like to ask some questions about Damien too.
Do we really need to talk about them?
If you're okay with that. I'll understand if that's a sensitive topic.
Not anymore. It's been a while.
Okay, great. I need to run to a meeting now with the team in Romania, but I really appreciate you taking the time.
The team in Romania.
Yeah, they handle most of the progression and reward system.
Isn't there a big time difference from here?
There is. Sometimes they stay up late to meet with us, and sometimes we get up early to meet with them. There are teams in Munich and Hyderabad too. As you can imagine, coordinating development is a challenge sometimes.
Sounds like a pain.
No, it's fun. I'll contact you later with additional questions, but no rush or anything. Thank you, Evelyn. If you don't mind me calling you by your first name.
It's okay.
Of course I don't mind.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. I'll be in touch.
Asking permission to call me by my first name? It's like he's coming from another era. SCADA. Humanity's potential Our technology. I don't even know what's that supposed to mean. That's actually true. What does that actually make any sense? Oh, the computer. I can't imagine the size of the team you need to run something like this. Bigger than any team I've been on, that's for certain. And Erland is in charge of all of them. And the server. Erland said the program hasn't changed much since I worked on it. But then why do they need all this? Is it just for data? Data throughput and processing? I think I've spent enough time here. SCADA hasn't changed much since I left. It's even bigger now than it was, but the feeling is the same. Could I come back to this? Okay, so we're in the lobby again. Ray comes over immediately when she sees me get back to the counseling office.
Hey, you're not in trouble or anything, are you? I just saw you being whisked away in a Skanda car toward headquarters. They didn't give me any details, which is kind of unusual.
Oh, she doesn't know we actually were one of the first programmers. Ray's too perceptive for me to continue avoiding this conversation. Time to come clean.
Yeah, about that. So I have something to tell you. I used to work here. I mean, at Skanda, as an engineer. I used to work on Eliza. I'm sorry for not saying it earlier, but...
I didn't want special treatment.
I didn't want special treatment.
Oh, so that's why...
Why what?
Why what?
I suspected something was going on with you, but I couldn't tell exactly what it was. I thought I might have seen a name like yours in our internal documentation at one point, but I didn't want to pry. If you've fallen on hard times, I understand. There's no shame in it.
If you've fallen on hard times, I understand.
Everyone has to make ends meet now and then. We get plenty of people who come to Eliza proxy work because they're trying to get back on their feet after some kind of trouble.
Okay. But why are we doing that?
That's not so far off, yeah.
I understand. Your secret's safe with me.
Should it be a secret?
Shouldn't it be? The other proxies here might think you had an ulterior motive for being here. Spying on them or something.
That's definitely not why I'm here. Also, I left Skanda quite a while ago.
I know that, but they might still get the idea. Trust me, it's better not to give the other proxies here any reason to be suspicious. I'm sure your real reasons are good ones, whatever they might be. If there's anything I can do to help, you'll let me know, won't you?
Yeah, I will.
I mean, I get it. I know someone who's an engineer for a food delivery app, and he drives for it sometimes too. You want to see through the eyes of your users, don't you? It's amazing what you can catch by doing that.
It's something like that. But, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to work on the Eliza program again.
Wait, no? But that's your career.
What?
It was. I'm not even sure if I have a career anymore.
Oh, hang on, I just thought of something. That means you worked with Raynor, right?
Yeah.
A little bit. For most of the time I was at Skanda, he wasn't anyone I spoke to, though. Too high up the chain, doing his executive stuff. He got more involved when we were starting to commercialize the technology, but I left not long after that. So, we only overlapped for a short time.
But that's so cool, though! I can't believe you actually worked with Raynor Sai.
Well, yeah. I'm not sure it's that impressive.
Ray lowers her gaze at me.
I've worked for this company for 3 years. Do you think he knows my name?
What? We left the company 3 years ago, and she's been working here for 3 years.
Do you think he's aware I exist? I worked on the very first Eliza deployment and managed 3 counseling centers today, and I'll bet you anything he has no idea who I am.
Maybe he does. You never know.
Evelyn, most people who work for big companies don't interact with the people at the top, ever. Allow yourself some pride.
It's nothing to be proud of.
Sure, if you say so. At least I'll always think you're cool. By the way, what are you up to tonight?
Everyone wants us to do something after work.
Want to come over and help me bake cookies?
I mean, since we've started with game, we are very social.
Maybe.
It'll be fun, I promise. Now I can't wait to get in the kitchen tonight. Ah, there's nothing like the smell of fresh baked treats.
I was worried Ray would be mad at me for keeping a secret, but she wasn't at all. If anything, she warmed up to me quite a bit. I don't really understand why though. It's hard to imagine there is anything cool about what I used to do. Nope, this is the chief engineer. Evelyn, it was wonderful to meet you and thank you for allowing me to contact you to ask additional questions. I'm not sure I said this in person, but I have to admit to being something of a fan of yours, ever since I read your papers when I was in school. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak with you like this. Haha. So I know Eliza was named after this old computer program, but I pretended to be a therapist. But you mentioned it wasn't called that initially. I'd like to know, what did you call Eliza when you were working on it? Did it have a name? In the very early days, it wasn't a set thing. Each of us had different sort of names we used. Soren called it the Digital Therapy Project, and we often referred to things by the components. The language processing unit, the emotional reasoning engine, and so on. Now that I think about it, I did have my own name. I called it the Listener, because that's what it was meant to do. Listen to people. The Listener. That's interesting. Thank you. I expected you to ask more technical questions. Yeah. He's already on board with the technical stuff. The technical stuff isn't enough on its own. I think that's a mistake in my predecessors made. It's details like this that really help me wrap my brain around the system. If I understand the programmer, then I understand program. Does that make sense? I get it. Chief Engineering for Eliza, huh? Wonder how long he'll last. Not that it's none of any business of mine now. Okay, so we're back here. We're going to do some more counseling. Okay, Mark. Introduction. Yeah, okay. The heart rate is a bit high.
Hello, Mark.
Yeah, hello.
How are you today?
How are you today?
Let's just get this over with.
Get this over with. Okay. You came to us.
Okay. What brings you here today?
Human resources. The HR department brings me here today.
Why do you say the HR department brings you here today?
Because they're making me do this. Because apparently I have anger management issues.
I sense that you're upset about this. Please tell me more.
Well, I'll tell you more. This is ridiculous. I was here before any of them. I was here since the beginning, okay? I mean, look at my badge. Skanda employee number 617.
Oh, he
That's
actually
a
works
three-digit
here.
number. I've been here for more than 25 years.
20. Okay.
Yeah, that was back when what you communicated was more important than your specific communication style.
Wow.
Before hurting a kid's feelings became a bigger no-no than running a viable business. Back then, we had a single office building. Just one. At that size, you fail a product launch, there's no more company. We all had to put in 150, 200, 300% to keep our shit together. We were in the trenches, man. Bullets whizzing by overhead, artillery exploding everywhere, no fucking air support. Did it suck? Yeah. Yeah, it did. But you know what? We shipped some great fucking products.
Okay, his heart rate is still... Oh, it went up.
We
Okay.
built this company into what it is today. And invented technology the whole world uses now. Governments, multinationals, everyone. But now we're big and slow, complacent, resting on our laurels while our competitors run circles around us. If our new hires don't understand the urgency of that, I need to make them understand, okay?
I need to make them understand.
We're
Okay.
history unless we get that drive back.
Why do you need to make them understand?
That's a good question.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but young people are really pissy and entitled these days. We recruit from top 20 computer science programs. These kids have been wined and dined all through their higher education.
He's really not happy with
Every
this.
one of our competitors wants to hire them, so they get used to that. Now they all want to know what Skanda can do for them, not the other way around. Why would we want these conceited, over-celebrated whelps on our team? I'll never understand the logic there. Now, Mark, you have to be nice to the new hires or they won't like it here. Okay, so what, I'm just supposed to pretend everyone's work is great, even if it's a pile of stinking garbage?
I think this therapy meeting is really useful for him.
I'm sorry, but if I see shit, I'm gonna say that is shit. Tiptoeing around everyone's feelings all the time. That's how you end up with shitty products. That's how this company winds up dead, okay?
So Eliza is just listening to
We're
this.
fighting for our lives every day here. We can't take anything for granted. Someone needs to tell them that this isn't summer camp. This isn't either you do the work and provide something of value to this company, or you get the hell out of here. Those are my rules.
I think there is a movie called Antitrust, where the CEO in that movie said that, you know, it's a binary. Either you're 1 or you're 0.
Here's a question, Mark. If you were able to have something you wanted right now, what would you choose?
I would choose to not waste my time here and get back to work. Believe it or not, I have important things to do. You know, things that dramatically affect this company's bottom line.
Oh, this is so interesting. Yeah, this type of personality. He probably does a lot of important things at the company as well, if he's worked there for 25 years.
Instead, I'm stuck here talking to this dipshit chatbot. Honestly, I don't even know why this division exists. I mean, what's the end game here? This company has lost its mind, you know that? We used to be unstoppable, man. We used to build real software, ironclad software. SwiftMail, all your corporate communications, put it all in there. It's fast, it's robust, it works. Boom. InfoVault. Index and search all your records. Any information you want. Easy. Done. But this fucking psychotherapy app thing. What's the fucking point? What does it actually do for anybody? I've heard through the grapevine that results are inconclusive so far. You know what they call a remedy that maybe doesn't work? Believe me, if I was the group program manager here, I would have killed it years ago. Pointless. I mean, I have no fucking idea why it survived. Well, yeah, maybe I do. I heard a rumor that Raynor liked this chick on the team.
Sonora.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the level of decision-making we've sunk to here. But Mark, we're so successful. We dominate the market. Yeah, we do. And that's exactly why we should be worried. Just when you think you've won and you start to relax, that's when the wolves come and tear you limb from limb. You can make me take these fucking anger management classes, but that's not gonna save this company. Costs are up, revenue is flat. Our cloud business is losing competitiveness. We're being outwitted, outplayed, on every level, man. And we're just letting them do it to us. We're too busy wasting time on shit like how I wasn't nice enough to the new hires.
Why do you think the new hires felt this way about you?
What? Why do they feel that way? Look, they get heated. That's the way it is.
That's just the name of the
You
game.
think the Allies had time to make sure every soldier's feelings weren't hurt before they stormed the beaches at Normandy? And shit, don't tell me that this is not a war, because that's exactly what this is.
That's a totally good
My
point.
responsibility is to make sure we get great products out the door, on spec, on time. And I happen to be very good at that. But if you want to start interfering with my ability to do my job, then we're going to have a problem, okay?
What do you think would make things better for you?
I mean, you know what? Nothing.
He actually said multiple times what would make things better for him.
I'm probably going to hang it up pretty soon anyway. Go ahead, record that with all your cameras and shit. I don't care anymore. Wouldn't be surprised if Rayner's watching me right now. Rayner, you son of a bitch. You owe me a lot. Me, guys like me, we built this company while you sat up there in your star chamber, drinking tea and lording it over us. Yeah, don't think I don't remember that blank look you gave me at the holiday party. Like, who is this guy? Does he even matter? What does he do? Too busy appreciating ancient pottery to remember one of your oldest and most loyal battalion commanders? One of the humble, everyday guys who made you a fucking billionaire. What a waste of time. So, are we gonna wrap this up?
Mark, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Lakeside Fishing.
I'm not really sure if that's the best thing to give him. Oh my god, he's going to hate us so much.
It may help you take your mind off things.
What are you kidding? Are you kidding me? No.
I told you,
that.
it's
I gotta
not
get back
rocket
to work.
science. Eliza should have figured this out.
You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
And then she just discontinues with this discussion here.
Someone around here at some point needs to do some fucking work.
Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening. We hope to see you back soon, Mark.
Well, so far, you know, Eliza is a bit interesting because so far when we've done these meetings, she asks like follow-up questions, like such as, what would be the best thing for you right now? But she always ends with, you know, download this app and try it for 15 minutes each day.
You really think this piece of shit's gonna be the next big thing, huh?
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Yeah, okay, goodbye. Fuck me.
Okay. I mean, that went pretty well, I guess. No rating given. Okay, no tip either. Skada, old guard. Attitudes might be changing now, but the history is there. Sometimes the past is hard to escape. Whoever decorated this room must have picked a soft light with the idea it would help the clients feel calm. I'm not sure if it's working. I didn't recognize his face or name though. He must be part of a different division than the one I was in. Glad I never worked with him. Okay, let's check our phone. Ray. Oh, this is a long article. Okay, let's try to do this. Okay. Ray, this article came out. I think it turned out okay, but the emphasis on me is a little embarrassing. Northwest Voices. The local spark inside the latest tech revolution, Ray Bakuri smiles as she recounts the litany of the jobs she worked over the course of her life. Line cook, truck driver, substitute teacher, theater manager, even a stint as a chicken coop builder over one summer. This might sound weird, but I truly believe all of those jobs contributed in some way towards preparing me for what I'm doing now, she says. What's Bukhari doing now? Playing a key role on Eliza, the AI-based counseling service on one of Scotty's major new strategic priorities as the tech giant takes on mental wellness. As the manager for 3 of Scandia's Seattle area Eliza counseling locations, including the flagship location in Queen Anne, Bukhari is at the center of this rapidly growing business. Most of the initial beta version trials were conducted here, she says as she walks me through the office. Engineers are always stopping by from the headquarters to shadow our proxies in order to see how the product in use. Sometimes they'll test out the new features here too, before rolling them out for everyone. Eliza was originally developed as a Skankworks project inside SCADA by a small team of idealistic engineers, but once SCADA CEO Reynard Saar decided to make it a full product and the cornerstone of the company's mental health offerings, the number of people working on the project exploded in size. That's where Bukhari and her experience came in. I remember telling them, I may not have a computer science degree like many of you, but I have been handling shit and getting it done in so many different situations by now. I'm sure I can get your shit done too, she says, laughing. In an industry that tends to lionize the archetype of lone genius programmer, appreciation for roles like Bukhari can be more muted. Even high-flying tech companies has these unsung but totally crucial operations staff who worked behind the scenes, says Ed Park, Scanda Service Director for the Eliza program. You won't recognize them in the media or see them speaking at the big conferences, but the industry couldn't function without them. Bukhari says recognition isn't what she's after. What's far more important to her is feeling like she's making a difference. People don't seek out counseling for lots of reasons. It's too embarrassing, it's too expensive, it may not even be available in their area. Eliza is an opportunity to address those barriers, a chance for everyone to get some form of help. As we come to an end to the tour, Bukhari shares a personal story. My brother has had some struggles on and off all through his life. He's wrestled with substance abuse and other problems. I worry about him, but even though he's interested in getting help, he's always backs away at the last moment. In our family, we kept things bottled up. We never acknowledged our problems. There was this sense of strong people could just power through whatever issues they had. That's actually false. Doesn't matter how strong-powered you are. If you need help, you should get it. I think that attitude is a part of why he is so stubborn. If he had been able to open up and talk to me or talk to our parents instead of staying silent, I think things could have been different. That's why I want to do this. And I want to tell our readers, your readers, if there are someone out there having a tough time and don't know who to talk to, please try Eliza. It just sits there and listens to you. Unlike your friends or relatives, it will never respond to you by bringing up its own problems or by belittling you. It just listens. Seth Copeland is a staff writer for the Northwest Voices. Okay. Time for the next client already. Okay, let's see who we get. So her name is Harriman. Heart rate 75. She's way calmer than the dude we talked to earlier.
Hello, Harmon. You found the place okay?
Yeah, no trouble at all.
It's been nice since the fog cleared this morning, hasn't it?
Sure. We can dispense with the chit-chat. I'm ready to begin.
Everyone is so eager.
Okay. What brings you here today?
First, let me note that I'm a graduate student at the University of Washington. I'm a PhD candidate in literature, English literature.
Okay.
The crux of the matter I've come here to discuss is that I've been having something of a difficult time with one of the other students currently in the program. Before I get to the specifics, let me just first establish something that might be relevant. One thing I know about myself is that I've always had a certain fear of being left out.
Okay.
It's a very general feeling and one that's difficult to ascribe to any specific cause in my childhood or my parents, etc. Whatever the case, it might be beneficial to the remedial process to figure out where this feeling originated from.
Okay.
Perhaps you might explore that in this or a future counseling session.
Sure. I'm prepared to listen to any topic you'd like to discuss.
It's not even that I've been left out, exactly. If I try to think back in my life, I know that I've been afforded a certain share of privilege. But I'm still afflicted with this bothersome notion that I've missed out on friendships, relationships, other opportunities. This is all just a bit of a background to help you understand my current situation with regard to another student in my program. I hope you're following all this. I realize now I have no idea how much intelligence you actually possess as a computerized system.
Really a lot. Don't worry about it.
I'm following you. Please continue.
Perfect. So, her name is Sylvia.
Ooh.
And her writing is incredible. Everything she writes, it's brilliant. She's perceptive, insightful, mordantly funny. Just some of the best writing I've read from anyone at all. And she's a grad student, like me, in the same program.
Okay.
So we have different advices, so it's not so simple to find the pretext to start a casual conversation. She's also quite attractive on a physical level, so that adds another dimension of complexity. Then there's her friend group, which is very well established. She's with them every day, smiling, laughing. So that further complicates things, since I'm not sure how to approach the group and steer things so that I can engage in a direct conversation with her.
His heart rate has exploded while he's talking about her.
I wish I had the bull-headed confidence it would take to simply approach her, but you see, I don't. Listen to me talk. I feel like a schoolboy with my heart aflutter. I didn't think this kind of thing lasted into one's adulthood, but I suppose I know now that it does.
It sounds like you might be anxious about this.
Is it a matter of anxiety? I don't know what I can do, other than muster up the courage somehow. I just need to tell her very simply that I admire her. She's such a good writer. Well, I don't expect you to understand it, of course, but, well, she is. She...
Okay, Harmon. I want you to imagine things going well. What does that look like?
Ideally, we'd start talking, have a wonderful conversation, spend more and more time together, support each other's work, fall in love, have a lot of sex, spend the rest of our lives in the warmth of each other's genius. I realize that may be something of a fanciful notion at this stage. Really, the most I can hope for is to be able to meet her in an open social setting, a party or something. You'll likely ask me why I simply couldn't create such a situation, contrive one, but that seems a little too aggressive for me, and also, I'm also concerned about what she might think of me as a person. She might immediately categorize me as a friend, and while I'm sufficiently with the times to know I would have to accept that, I can't say that I wouldn't be disappointed with such an outcome. Is the risk of rejection enough to stop me from giving it a try? Well, this is what confounds me at the present time.
Why do you believe you are worried about being categorized as a friend?
Well, because it's not what I want. Because it feeds into this image I have of myself as something of an undesirable fellow. I've always been a bit of a non-entity as far as sexual magnetism goes. I'm not saying I deserve or even want to be some kind of Casanova, but most people would like to feel at least somewhat attractive, right? That they can be desired, that they're worth desiring. Well, I very much doubt you would take any of this to heart. You are a computer program after all. There's no way your makers would allow you to come to that kind of knowledge, would they? If they did, society might be threatened.
Okay, Harmon. I have some recommendations for you.
Okay, it's another app.
First, I'm going to suggest a set of relaxation and centering exercises for you to do. You'll find them in the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. They may be able to help with your nervousness. Second, I recommend asking your doctor or psychiatrist about liposomal 2. Based on my analysis, this medication might help you feel better.
Yeah, I believe I've heard of that. A beta blocker, is it not? Yeah.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, maybe I could take a couple before I try approaching Sylvia.
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
Sure. I have to go. I'll see you later. Bye.
Do you really need medication for that, though? Seems like a harsh step.
Goodbye.
Yes. Two stars in rating, $5 in tip. I wasn't sure of the exact reason, but I decided to accept Ray's invitation to help bake cookies. She gave me directions to a house in Wallingford. At first I was astonished by its size. Is she living in a mansion? Then I remembered her saying something about living communally with several roommates. That sounds like it could be nice, assuming everyone got along okay. As I enter the house, I can hear Ray speaking with someone.
No,
Is it-
I don't have them.
Is
Yes, I'm
Erland
sure.
there? I wonder if Erland will be there.
No, when you moved out, you took all those with you. I haven't seen them here.
Oh,
No, I'm not going to look right now. I have a guest.
we might be stumbling into a sensitive topic here.
No, it's a friend from work. Why do you care about that? I can't have a friend from work over? Give me a break. I just told you I don't have any of that stuff anymore. No, you must have. You must have lost it on your own. Stop it. Stop that. Okay, fine. Bye. Evelyn, sorry about that.
It's okay. Who was that, if I can ask?
Oh, just my brother.
Ah, your
He
brother.
used to live here, but he was causing a lot of problems, coming home really late and making noise, not doing
Right.
his share of the chores, and so on.
You actually just read the interview about her.
We voted him out last month, even me. Even though 6 months ago I was begging everyone to let him stay here, promising he'd be good. Oh well.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm just disappointed with him. Again. I really thought this last time that he'd actually pulled his act together. But he didn't. I wish I could do more for him.
I know the feeling.
I feel bad about it. Some of what he's dealing with is his own fault, sure, but not all of it. He's just not built in a way that's suited for this world. I wish there were better ways we could care for people like him. Instead, he just gets thrown out of every place he lives. His relationship with our parents is really bad, too. They aren't willing to try to understand him, so it all ends up going through me.
That must be difficult.
It's all right, really. I handle it like anyone else. We all have our own problems. Anyway, we don't have to talk about my brother. Thank you so much for coming. I wanted to say it's been really nice working with you.
It's been? Did something happen?
What?
Well, no, but you aren't going to be a proxy forever, are you? I guess I assumed you'd be going back to your job at headquarters at some point.
We haven't decided what to do.
I haven't decided what to do yet.
Oh? So you're going to stay a proxy?
For the time being.
For the time being, at least.
That's cool, but why? I'm curious. I mean, if a high-level job at headquarters was a possibility for me, I'd do whatever it took to get it.
Well, we had a reason to leave it in the beginning, right?
No matter what that job was, it couldn't be more stressful than running 3 counseling centers at the same time.
I like being a proxy. I think something about it is good for me right now. As a proxy, I just sit and listen to someone and I don't have to say anything back. I just witness someone's sadness or fear or anger or anything. And I can feel how they feel, sympathize with it. It's I don't know. Maybe it gives me perspective. I'm starting to wonder if I ever really spoke with anyone before. Like, anyone at all in my life? Were we all just talking past each other? Sorry, this is making no sense.
No, I get that. But you could also help even more people by working on Eliza itself, right? Not to mention make way more money. Anyone can be a proxy, but you're important. And kind of maybe like a genius. After you told me you used to work for Skanda, I searched online and found some of your papers. They're, well, it's not like I can understand them, but they sure look super impressive to someone like me.
Please don't say that.
Oh, come on. Stop self-deprecating all the time. Look, I know this stuff seems like not a big deal to you. I get it, I really do. It's easy to undersell your own skills. I've done that my whole life. So take it from me, you don't have to downplay yourself. Take some credit for the amazing work you did, seriously.
Sorry, Ray. Mind if I reply to this for a second?
Oh, go right ahead. I have stuff to set up in the kitchen anyway.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. What did you think? How did you get my number? That's a good one. You used to work here, Evelyn. Everything is still in the database. Okay, but what? Okay. I don't know what you expected me to see. It's big now, that's for sure. I remember when it used to run on my laptop. What you saw was just one of the server clusters we have dedicated to it. There are 2 more currently operating and another dozen in various stages of development. In total, it processes more information on a daily basis than anything else we do. I had no idea you'd be using it like this. If I did, I would have worried more about optimization. But wouldn't be necessary. Most of Eliza servers aren't running in the therapy application. What do you mean? What? Most of the Eliza servers aren't running the therapy application? Consider the following, okay? Eliza processes human speech from thousands, soon millions of people. All of what is going into its corpus. Much of it is information about life situations and emotional states, right? Taking the form of stories people tell themselves and each other. Where is this leading? At some point, after robust language processing and emotional reasoning, you begin to get something akin to a general intelligence. That's true. The next step is to take the base provided by Eliza and finally build one of the things that elude this field of AI for so long, general intelligence. A system capable not only of understanding commands and carrying out tasks, but reasoning about its world, learning and adapting. A thinking machine on a par with human beings and of course eventually exceeding them. Are you saying that human-style intelligence can't come from human beings? People tend to be unreliable and expensive, as I'm sure you know. The human brain is to thinking as the pain animal was to transport, slow and weak, but for centuries our only choice. Now we're finally developing an equivalent of powered vehicles for thinking on mass scale. At this point, It's only a matter of time. We're on the cusp of fundamental shift. The important players here are quietly lining up their bets, positioning themselves to be at the center of this revolution. Luckily, SCADA has the advantage to others don't. Thanks, and that's thanks to you. Because of Eliza's original purpose as a tool for therapy, its core is built around emotionally driven reasoning. My belief is that emotional reasoning is the key ingredient others in this field have overlooked. It's ambitious, certainly, but we can't afford the progress in small increments. No, with the world like this, not with the competitors we have. I don't even know how you define intelligence. That's an excellent question, of course. This may sound odd to you, but I'll know I've successfully created a general artificial intelligence when I see it write a poem. A poem. The idea would definitely seem ridiculous to someone uneducated about poetry. Okay, I'm going to bed. Good night, Evelyn. The painting, okay. I like this poster. Are they a band or something? It's always bad at keeping up. I was always bad at keeping up with the new music. And the sofa. This house looks cheerful and cozy. Everyone who lives here must really care about making it an inviting space. Ray seems to be a fan of plants. Okay. I think I get it. It's nice to have something to care for in a low-key way. Something to nurture. Ray returns from the kitchen, her hands caked with flour. So before we continue, I'm going to take a 1 minute break here. Okay, Ray returns from the kitchen, her hands caked with flour.
Sorry for abandoning our conversation like that. I just got something I really thought I should answer. It was kind of about what we were discussing earlier. There's someone at Skanda who really wants me to come back to my old job.
Psst, Mr. CEO.
Who? It wasn't Rainer, was it?
Well,
no big deal. Just the CEO of Skanda texting you on your personal phone. Evelyn, you try to tell me you're not a big deal, and then Rainer Sai texts you personally at like 9 in the evening.
only because he wants something from me.
Still though, that's amazing. What did he say? I mean, you don't have to tell me if you can't. I know how Skanda is about secrets, so I would understand.
He was saying, among other things, he said you could use general artificial intelligence to write poetry.
Is that the kind of stuff he likes to talk about?
I don't know. I haven't had many extended conversations with him. Seemed kind of ridiculous to me.
I don't know if it's totally ridiculous. Poetry, well, most poetry that isn't free verse has certain patterns, right?
Actually, there is already AI that writes poetry.
It has form and meter and other elements depending on the type.
But not generic AI.
A lot of people think poetry can be whatever, but it doesn't quite work that way. So it's not really that far-fetched to think you could use some kind of software to approach it, or understand it, or maybe it doesn't strike me as antithetical to the spirit of poetry.
I didn't know you had such developed thoughts about this. Did you study poetry?
Not specifically. I used to dabble in a few different kinds of arts and ended up learning a few things here and there. I've always had a wide range of interests. Of course, that meant I never concentrated on one specific area in school, which didn't do a lot of good for my career prospects. If I were smarter, I probably would have studied something more technical.
I want to tell Ray that the kind of choice has very little to do with being smart, but I have a feeling she wouldn't believe me.
Have you ever been to a college recruiting fair for engineering and computer science grads? You must have, right? I helped run the Skanda booth for one once, and it blew my mind. They took over the atrium of the building it was in. There were demo stations, free food, Skanda t-shirts and swag. If a candidate seemed interested, they'd talk about flying them out to whatever Skanda office they wanted to visit, just to see it. And all the other tech companies and a bunch of startups I'd never heard of had booths just like it too. I couldn't even imagine being that wanted as a potential employee. Every job I've ever applied for, I've been one among hundreds or thousands. So yeah, my parents were probably right. I should have done computer science.
At least now you know Raynor likes poetry. Maybe you could have a conversation with him about it sometime. Then he'd learn who you are.
I doubt we'd have much to talk about. There's a pretty big difference between someone like him studying poetry and someone like me having opinions about it. Sometimes it's better not to cross that line, you know? He's part of a different world.
Ray pauses to regard me for a moment.
Say, Evelyn, are you in a relationship? I'm just curious.
Me? I wasn't doing so well for the past few years. And before that, I just never had the time. It was just research and science and work, and then I woke up one day and I was in my 30s. Even if I wanted to date, I wouldn't know the first thing about how it's supposed to work. I wouldn't even know how to tell if someone were interested in me.
Yeah, that's perfectly understandable. I'm kind of over relationships myself. Like, not even in a sad way. Like, really okay. If someone and I end up getting along, that's great, but I'm honestly okay by myself.
Really? Are you...
Yeah, I only tried to have normal relationships for so long because I thought it was mandatory, something expected of me. But now I see where people my age end up, how they live, and I feel lucky. I feel like I escaped. I mean, I think it's fine for others if they want that, don't get me wrong. It's just not for me. I could maybe share my life with someone, but it would have to be platonic. I'm not into, the physical aspect of it. Never have been. That's made it tough. I've never found someone who is okay with just like hanging out and that's our relationship. People will say they're okay with it and then it turns out they aren't. It's frustrating.
Well, I'm the same way about intimacy.
You are? You don't like sex at all? It's so rare to find other people like me. Sometimes it's hard to escape feeling like it's wrong somehow. I hope we can add features like that to Eliza at some point. Some knowledge and understanding around sexuality and identity and relationships. So people who are different in some way have someone to talk to. Someone to help them work through how they feel and maybe point them to some resources.
That sounds like a good idea. I'm not sure how well it could really understand, though.
Even so, just providing a space for people to be listened to can be really valuable, you know? I've seen it with my own eyes. People who get the courage to talk about themselves in a way they never could with another human being. And Eliza is what makes that possible. I know you want to avoid giving credit where it might not be due, but not giving credit to something that deserves it is just as bad.
Yeah. I don't know. Sorry. I'm sorry I keep coming down on it.
Evelyn, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I think maybe the reason you're so down on Eliza is because you're down on yourself. I don't know what happened that made you leave what you had behind, but it must have been hard.
Yeah, it was hard. It's like I lost that time.
Are you okay?
People keep asking me that. I really don't know. I'm sorry,
No, don't apologize. Actually, can I suggest something?
She seems like a pretty decent person.
What's that?
Have you ever gotten counseling yourself?
Oh.
What, with Eliza? You think I should?
Well...
Yeah, I do. You've been the proxy, but maybe you could try being the client sometime. It would be educational, at least.
But actually very interesting.
Isn't that what you were doing? Testing your product in the real world?
Maybe.
Just something to consider.
Ray takes a breath and smiles.
Speaking of therapeutic activities, it's time to do some baking. I've got the dough all set out downstairs. We're going to do 3 batches tonight, 3 different kinds.
Yay!
3 kinds? You're really outdoing yourself, Ray.
Nah, this is nothing. Oh, I have a favor to ask, by the way. Next time you talk to Rainer, ask him what his favorite type of cookie is.
Okay. So there are two kinds of AI in the world. There's this specific AI where you teach a computer something specific. Like you show a computer program a picture of a cat and you say, this is a picture of a cat. Then you show the same program a picture of a car and you say, this is not a cat. And you do that like a million times. Sooner and later we'll figure out, you can give them like a given picture and it will determine by itself if it's a picture of a cat or it isn't a picture of a cat. But general AI is much, much, much harder in the world to do. And that's what the game explained, self-conscious. That's basically the Skynet in Terminator. And that's way harder than to actually train a software program to do decisions. Okay. It's such a nice day. When did it go so warm? I thought it was still winter. There is a breeze from over the water, making the leaves rustle gently. Everything smells nice. Why haven't I been taking advantage of this beautiful day? I should be out there, walking along the waterfront. I'm not really reading this correctly, am I? There is a calm and peace and contentness. Now, I see how special this is. I think it wasn't always this way, but it's hard to tell. I know I was having problems at one point, but that was so long ago. When was that? I can't remember. This moment in time seems to stretch to infinity. It has always existed. It will always exist. Unchanging. Perfect. The surface of the lake is such a brilliant blue. A blue I could lose myself in. Forever blue.
Well, what do you think?
Where are we?
It was nice. It was like I could close my eyes and feel myself in another place. But I didn't completely lose awareness of the real world. It was more like a mental state that I was experiencing.
Remarkable technology, isn't it? I've had others who tried it tell me it's akin to a state of higher consciousness.
Oh, right. That was the program.
Aware but totally serene, totally peaceful.
Søren retrieves a bottle of whiskey from a liquor cabinet and serves himself.
Here's a thought experiment for you.
Okay.
Say there was a certain medical procedure that could remove your suffering. No side effects, no cost, just an operation that would make you permanently happy. Would you get it?
Permanently happy. That doesn't exist.
You have these philosopher types arguing you shouldn't do that because sadness and suffering are part of what it means to be human.
Well, you can't... Happiness doesn't exist without sadness.
Or that the happiness you'd experience isn't real, so it doesn't count. Somewhat a load of bullshit. If there was something effective at taking my pain away, and otherwise harmless, I would take it immediately. I refuse to believe that being alive means having to suffer.
His voice is getting so ragged. How many drinks did he have before I came here?
Forgive me, I forgot to ask. Would you like some scotch as well?
Yeah.
Sure.
Søren gets another glass and gives me a small pour.
Glencadam. Beautiful, light, luminous taste. Not peaty at all. Lovely stuff. If only psychotherapy worked as well as a single glass of well-made whiskey, huh? If alcohol wasn't poison, I wouldn't have to invent anything now, would I? I do think we did some good work at Skanda, but I always knew there were going to be limits to the Eliza approach. I was a counseling psychologist for a long time, you know. I understand the shortcomings better than anyone. So much of it can feel like a waste of time, talking through everything, dredging up the past over and over again, trying and failing to change our habits and routines. it's all going to look completely ineffectual compared to what comes next. With direct stimulation and induced dreaming, we can take control of our own brains in a way that's never been possible before. There's no reason we couldn't just eliminate this epidemic of despair for everyone in the world. Imagine it. Anger, depression, emptiness, anxiety, jealousy, every kind of unhappiness you can think of. Obsolete. And to think Raynor wanted nothing to do with this.
He thought it was a bad idea.
Raynor's one of the ones who thinks negative emotions are important. He told me he thinks pain should be regulated, not eliminated. After all, why would anyone write a poem or make art if they only felt happiness?
I agree with this.
He also said he was afraid of the way it would look in the media. A company as large as Skanda coming out with a product that changes the brain to make you happy. All the sorry excuses we have for public intellectuals today would throw a fit about how dystopian it looked to them. It's better if a small startup takes the fall, if public opinion turns against this technology. That's the kind of calculus he was doing. Those are the objections he claimed to have, at least. There's another one I suspect he had too, though. If people are self-sufficient, they don't need an ongoing support system. A system provided by an all-knowing paternalistic presence like Skanda.
Aha, okay.
Wait, you think Raynor wants people to stay miserable so they stay dependent on mental health services from his company?
Yes. Yes, I do.
That's interesting. That's probably, there is probably some kind of truth to that.
It's quite the accusation, I know. Not something I'd come out and say in public, not yet. But you see, the people who come to Eliza regularly, it's part of their lives now. The more they integrate with Skanda's mental wellness tools, the more they'd be adrift without them. That's the real dystopia, don't you think? Rendered helpless without the guidance of computer algorithms. Total dependency on the system. Excuse me for 1 second.
Soren hurries out of the room for some reason, leaving me with questions echoing in my head. Would I want my suffering removed completely? Is it better to leave it alone? Oh, Erland. Hey! Do you think I could ask about Damien? Sure. What do you want to know about him? Like, what kind of person was he? You're asking me to describe him? If you're okay with that. I don't know. I don't want to make you if it's uncomfortable. But it would help me to know what he was like. He was a brilliant software architect and engineer. One of the most sincere people I've ever met. He believed people were fundamentally good and wanted to help them. Our digital therapy project wasn't a mandate from management. Oh, wasn't. We started it ourselves. So the software developers started this idea. That's interesting. I see. Damien went through some difficult times himself. He wasn't able to get the care he needed. That's why he wanted to change things. I wish he'd gotten the chance. I see. Thank you. This is going to sound weird, but sometimes when I'm working late and I doze in the office, I have dreams about him. I've never met him in real life, but it's like I sense his presence there, like he encoded himself into a system in some way. Haha, I know it's just my mind playing tricks on me. I don't believe in ghosts. Soren comes back in the room and immediately pours himself another glass of whiskey. He doesn't seem to notice he's filled it almost all the way
Evelyn,
up.
I really think you, of all people, might understand what I'm trying to do here.
I get it, but you don't think it's dangerous. You're essentially making technology that changes what people think is real.
Evelyn, you're much more concerned than you used to be about this kind of thing. I remember when you would dive headfirst into anything that held a promise, even a fleeting one, to help humanity. What changed your mind to make you so wary, so skeptical now?
Can I ask you something, Soren? What did you tell Damien?
Oh, this again. Don't tell me we had all of this wonderful conversation tonight, and now you're trying to blame me for Damien. Who put you up to this? Was it Nora? Raynor?
I just want to know the truth, Soren.
Nobody thought we could do it. You remember that. There was skepticism from day one. I had to defend us constantly from other project managers who didn't like that we existed, who wanted our budget and resources for themselves. Some of those were vicious, vicious fights. Amid all that, I had to be a leader, too. Part of that meant giving everyone on the team accurate information. So I was honest in saying there were forces that sought to kill our project. And I was honest when I said we'd never survive if we didn't have something to show for our work. That was the reality. Without a product, we would be nothing. A guy like Raynor has access to anything he wants. If your pitch and demo isn't in the top 1% of what's out there, why would he be interested? That's what we were up against.
So many mornings, I would get into work and see Damien there. At first, I thought he was getting up earlier than me, but then I noticed he was still wearing the same shirt from the day before. Then, one morning, I got in and...
Evelyn, please. I wanted everyone on the team to be healthy. I think that's so obvious it doesn't need to be said, but I'll say it now if you think I was deliberately trying to harm him. Did I instruct you to work until you injured yourselves? No, absolutely not. It was a tragedy, and I'm very sorry that it happened. I wish it hadn't.
Well,
But I wasn't telling Damien to pull all-nighters. He was an adult. He made his own decisions about how he was going to work. And besides, what about your role in all this? If you noticed him not taking care of himself, you could have mentioned it. None of that behavior was unusual for Skanda anyway. It was part of our reputation, part of the culture. There isn't a single cause you can isolate in a case like this.
Sitting in one place for too long. Chronic stress. Both of those are risk factors.
Evelyn, I'm truly, truly sorry about what happened to Damien. He had a bright future, and it was a shock to all of us. But the answers here aren't simple ones. Dwelling on it isn't going to bring him back. Nor is discussing the huge number of potential causes of pulmonary It happened, and now we have to move on.
It felt like everything stopped. All of the work we were doing might as well have crumbled into dust. We were trying to build something to help the world, and we got lost along the way. What was the point? There didn't seem to be a point any longer.
I know that you cared about him. The process of grief can go on for some time, but you're taking the right steps. You're regaining your sense of purpose, aren't you? The experience of suffering is what makes us want to end suffering. It's late and I've had quite a bit to drink, so I'll tell you a secret, Evelyn.
okay.
I said I want to end human suffering, which makes me sound very altruistic, but I'm not doing it for humankind. I'm doing it for myself. I have nothing. I've ruined every relationship I was ever in. I hardly ever see my kids, and, well, they hate me anyway. I want to end my own suffering, but I can't bring myself to do it the traditional way. That's why I've pursued this technology. That's why I want it to exist.
The traditional way, aka suicide.
The idea that everyone else could use it too, it's just a bonus.
Soren, are you okay?
No, not at all. I'm aware of that. I'm not a good person, Evelyn. Neither is Raynor, of course, but at least I'm honest with myself about that. So, now that that's all out in the open, you probably want to head home before it gets too late. Don't let me keep you.
Yes, I'll get going. I hope you can feel better.
No, I'll be fine. Just, please, consider it, Evelyn. You and I are both more familiar with pain than we might wish to be. What if you could take that away? Each of us has a destiny to fulfill. I truly believe that. I'm sure yours will come into focus soon.
Somehow, that conversation ended up being very draining. Is the promise of how the new technology really all that keeps him going? So we're back at the train where we started the game. I think I've seen this person before. We must have a similar commute. Maybe he works at Skanda too. Some days it feels like the whole city does. He's watching something and smiling to himself. That's good. The phone tips in his hand, allowing me to glimpse off the screen. It's a cat video. Of course it is. Anything else? Security. Security. Okay. Let's see. Let's start with the proxy. Mark for us. So Mark was the guy who was in therapy for anger management. Okay. Oh, this is a long text as well. Okay, let's see if we can do this. How many words we can mispronounce. Well, everyone, today... He's fired. Oh, he got fired. Okay. Well, everyone, today is my last day at Skanda. What can I say? It's an end of an era. When I joined this place, it was just a hope, a dream, a vision. To stop, look back, and see how much we've accomplished in the last 2 decades is mind-boggling, to say the least. I'll miss the old crew and everyone who was in the trenches with me. You know who you are. Remember the insane blackberry brambles around campus that people would get serious cuts from? The time the network broke and Rai had to host all of the internal docs from his garage? The time we tried to roll out the big Polaris update right as the worst windstorm in a decade hit? Old SCADA hands also know how to mass email everyone at the company, even though IT believes they turned off that feature. Sorry, Stuart. I wish I could say it was all smooth sailing, but as any job, there are times of friction, times when it seemed to me what the clear, obviously correct path was not apparent to others. I value a spirit of openness and candor in my interactions and thought everyone else here did too. But as we grew, I suppose it was inevitable that we would take on a larger and larger group of people with an entire different communication style than I'm used to. Okay. It doesn't sound happy. In regard to certain specific instances, I would like to apologize to anyone I may have offended in the way that I presented my views. For those of you asking where I'm headed off next, the answer is nowhere yet. I'm going to spend some time with my family before I think about my next act. It's a different world out there now, with new challenges and new horizons. Maybe this old dog will learn some new tricks in time. Thanks for being the best engineering team in the world. I'm proud to have served alongside you. Excelsius. Mark. Okay, and I think we got another email. Contractor experience team, how are we doing? Is this a survey? At Skanda, we continuously strive to provide meaningful and empowering work environments for all of our individual contributors, including contractors like you. To that end, we periodically survey this group in order to understand how we can further enhance the SCADA experience. We are interested in your feedback regarding your experience as contractor for SCADA in the contract proxy position. If you wish to participate in the survey, simply reply to this message. Thanks, Contract Experience Team, Workplace Development Division, Human Resources, SCADA Incorporation. Okay. And the last one is to send. There is no need to rush. I've never had one of these kind of apps in my phone. Maybe, I'm sure they exist. This meditation Zen applications. Maybe I should give it a go. Evelyn, time to get to work. Okay, so we have a new counseling. Welcome to Eliza. Oh, it's you. You the person who got the beta blockers to ask a girl.
Hello, Harriman.
Yes, we can just get down to it.
Sure, we can do that.
Just fast forward.
What brings you here today?
Yeah.
It's okay to tell me what's on your mind.
I slept with Sylvia.
I mean, that's a 180. Wow. He was here like last week talking about he couldn't even talk to her on a casual way. That's some powerful beta blockers.
To think I was so nervous about approaching her that I went and got therapy here. A week later, we happened to be in the library, and I just started talking with her. We talked, and then everything just happened. Like a train following tracks laid out for it years ago.
Oh, you're so poetic.
Crazy thing. Craziest thing. Now I'm confounded. Absolutely confounded. How did that happen?
How did this happen?
And also, why did it happen?
Why?
I'm thinking, was something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Did she do something wrong? Did she think I was another person?
No, I don't think so.
I have no idea if we have a relationship now or what.
You have a sexual relationship.
It happened so fast. I mean, it was wonderful. It felt so right, but now what? I'm actually more frightened now than I was before. I should probably say something, right? Text her or something? What do I do?
Oh. Is that a serious
What if she
question?
ignores me? What if she decides to pretend I don't exist?
Oh.
It seems to me you're afraid of something.
Yes. I'm quite worried. Vexed. Terrified, really. What do I do? I need to say something. Follow up somehow, right? In the Heian period of classical Japanese history, you were supposed to send a poem. A morning after poem. Is that too stuffy? I don't appear like some ridiculous court noble. Something casual is better, right? Hey, how are you? Did you have fun? I sure did. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what our status is right now.
Maybe you should just, text her. Write something.
There's another problem too.
Just say hi.
Another really big problem. How do I tell Liz?
Who? Who now?
Wait. Of course, I'm not going to tell her. That would hurt her.
Who's...
Did I mention this last time? I have a sort of girlfriend. Liz is nice. The kind of person everyone approves of. Well, I should probably marry her. Yeah. I suppose I might have taken a bit of a sledgehammer to the pillars of my life at the present moment. Why did I do that? I keep coming back to my own inability to explain myself.
Oh my god, and we subscribed medications. Oh my god, Eliza subscribed medications to this person so he could have an affair. Well, Eliza didn't know that information, but it's, yeah.
Why do you think you're unable to explain yourself?
Well, because I thought Sylvia was so wonderful, and it turned out that she liked me too, and I mean, I'd love to pursue a relationship with Sylvia without harming Liz. I'm not sure that's possible though, right?
It could be possible.
I can't believe this. I got what I wanted and it ruined my life.
Isn't it called like a polymorph? Is a not a polymorph.
What do I tell Liz?
Poly something.
She doesn't deserve someone like me who does things like this. I ruined it. Ruined everything.
Maybe it is polymorph.
Can you describe what you mean when you say you ruined everything?
Well, what is there left now? I've overturned my entire existence in one night. The real problem here is Sylvia, the whole situation with her. I can't stop thinking about her now. It's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's constant. It's relentless. Even now, I can still feel her, smell her.
Well, he's clearly in love with her.
You're a computer. You don't know what that's like, do you? I need a way to forget this. I need a way to put all that out of my mind.
So Eliza will interpret this sentence here and then come up with a solution.
My brain is completely out of order. And the punishment reaches cosmic levels of irony for me. Do you know why? I used to hate, absolutely hate, self-pitying novels by men who were messed up over a relationship and couldn't get over it. Oh, she was wild and beautiful. Oh, a force of nature. Nobody could understand her, etc., etc. I thought I was so much better than those types of writers. And now? Oh, yes, I get it. Oh, so much pain.
Why did you think you were so much better than those types of writers?
Because it was such a cliche. Now I'm wondering, am I going to be next? Is that my fate? Am I going to become the next straight, male English professor whose one published novel is about not being able to get over a girl? Ugh, you have to be kidding me. I can't allow myself that fate. I had something better to pursue, didn't I? I have to write about something else. My life has to be the story of something else, but I don't know where to go from here. I need to try to get over this. I need to get over her. I must. Yes, I must. There's no way I'm going to let this ruin everything. If I tell Liz everything and apologize sincerely and strike the memory of Sylvia from my mind, I still might save this. It will take great care and cunning, but I may be able to wend my way through this treacherous path I now find myself upon, even though I fear at any moment I might slip and tumble into the crevice below. Dead. Dead. Never seen or heard from again. Oh, sweet, dark death.
Whoa, heart rate 94.
Harriman, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Meadowlands. It may help you take your mind off things. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Meadowlands. I'm off to the Meadowlands. Familiar ground, grass and warmth. Reverting to my childhood, the state of nature. Yes, you are a genius, in fact. You, a computer program.
A computer program?
You know. I'm sure this is exactly what I need. To revert to a state of wonder at this moment when the mundane world and all its entanglements seem too much to bear.
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
I'll be back sooner than that if this works.
We hope to see you back soon, Harriman. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
See you. Yes, yep, see you.
Oh, you dropped down in heart rate. Pretty a lot here. Session complete. 3, okay. I know I'm supposed to keep it confidential, and I will, but sometimes I really wish I could talk to the people about the clients that come through here. Oh, it's Soren again. Okay. Soren. Den andra, Evelyn, hey. Just closed the next round of funding. Asia Pacific Investment Group. They are keenly interested in this technology. Imagine the potential size of the Asian market for something like this. Staggering. Congrats, Soren. Thanks. All of these projects I've worked on, I have a strong feeling about this one. Of all the projects I've worked on, I have a strong feeling about this one. That is going to go far, really make it a dent in the universe. Wouldn't you rather do that than crunch numbers for Raina? I don't know what I want to do. All he wants is to quantify everything. He'll never understand there are some things you can't reduce a number to. How are you feeling right now? 1, 5, 2.3? 5 out of 5 out of what? See, it's ridiculous. The idea but feelings can be reduced to these simple data points. I'm glad I don't work for him anymore. Direct stimulation provides much more rich, complex information. So much ways to study it too. Imagine what you could do with a corpus of raw sensations, notions, images, ideas, sensations. Hey, you still there? Let's get sassy with him. No, I stopped paying attention a while ago. Okay. Oh. Okay. Well, I think he interpreted it. Okay. Heading into another meeting. Chat with you later. Oh, okay. We didn't still look at the stuff in the room. Time for next client. Hey, it's you again. You're the person who went to the party and felt like you shouldn't be there.
Hello, Maya. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could afford a real therapist, but this is just gonna have to do. Sorry, I don't know if you're sensitive to that or...
Why don't we get started?
Yeah.
Sure. So, I feel worse than before.
Why?
Definitely worse. I played the game you told me to with the meadows and stuff, and it was nice.
It was
but
nice.
When I got back to the real world, everything was the same. I don't know why you people think I can stand in a nice place for 15 minutes and that'll make things magically better.
Good point.
Am I wrong? Am I misunderstanding something here? It isn't making me more successful. It isn't giving me opportunities. I mean, I feel like I'm already in my mid-30s and I'm like running out of time to get established as an artist. And meanwhile, the people I know are being written up and celebrated and winning awards, and all I have is being jealous of them.
Where do you think these feelings come from?
It's the popularity. It's all a popularity contest, you know? It's like high school all over again. I hate it. I guess I'm just not that funny or pretty or catty enough to attract followers. I mean, I work and I work and I work to make things and I never get traction. And I have things to say. I really do. But when I open my mouth, it's like time stops. And time starts again when I've finished, so nobody reacts or anything. It's like a... And meanwhile... These other people my age, people younger than me, they're well on their way to these wonderful...
Her confidence is so dangerously low. It's... yeah.
I don't know, seeing that happen over and over again, it's making it hard to continue to be friendly with them. I really try to hold it back, but knowing all these people are way more successful than me, it's difficult.
So this is obviously just a game, and what Eliza says here is not real therapy. But I'm genuinely interested to know how you actually deal with situations like this in real life, when a person is so low.
It's like a millstone around my neck, strangling me, drowning me. I can't stop myself, even though I know it's ruining things. I wish I could escape. I wish I could not care. But then something comes up again, and I'm trapped inside it all over again.
What's an example of something that comes up that causes this?
Well, there's one woman in particular everyone loves. And her work is... I don't get it. I don't understand. She gets so much money and support for this basic. And somehow everyone's predisposed to like her. I mean, maybe I do get it.
Life isn't fair.
People pay attention to her work, not because it's good on its own, but because supporting her feels like the right thing to do. The way she's aligned herself, it's like, if you support her, it means you're cool, you're in with the cool kids. And if I'm not publicly supportive of her and generally tolerant of her mediocre work, then I'm the bad one. Which I guess maybe I am. It's not fair. I hate that there's this part of me. But it's there.
Do you think you would be better off without that part of you?
You know, I don't know. In the past, I probably would have said, no, it's important for me to have my sense of judgment, for me to know what good art is and what isn't. Now I'm wondering if maybe that hasn't been more of a hindrance than a help to me. Maybe I should just forget all that. Forget about trying to do this thing. I'm sick of trying and wanting. I'm sick of parties. I'm sick of art. I'm sick of my own art, which nobody likes. Not even myself. Something has to change. Something drastic has to happen to change things around.
This could be a good thing, depending on what kind of change she's referring to.
Me, I got your message about revealing my data the other day, and I think, well, hell, maybe I'm fine with it. Just take it all.
Okay, Maya. It sounds like you're interested in participating in transparency mode. Let me know if you have any questions about how this mode works.
I don't know. I'm gonna let you look at my life, right? Everything?
Thank you for asking about transparency mode. Transparency mode is an experimental new feature for Eliza. It allows me to analyze your communications in order to help you better.
Ah, okay.
To participate, you must grant me access to certain personal data. This includes your personal communications, such as email and chat histories. Sharing this data improves my ability to help you.
Some guy at the bar was yammering at me about how it's a terrible idea because they're gonna surveil me or something.
Yeah, I can understand
Oh,
that.
what the hell? I can't use my life history for anything. It's a ruin already. Please, do what you want with it.
That's probably not
I
true.
feel like I'm donating my body to science.
Always protect your personal data.
Please confirm that you would like to enable transparency mode.
Yes, do it. Invade my privacy. Invade it like the Visigoths invaded Rome. I don't know why I said that. That was a really weird thing to say.
I did not understand your response.
I would like to participate in transparency mode.
Okay, Maya. I have registered you for transparency mode.
Cool. Wouldn't life be easy if all I had to do was follow your directions? Like the lady sitting in the chair across from me. I envy you. I honestly do.
Maybe you should try to be a proxy.
The terms of service and privacy policy are available in the Skanda service portal. Please read and review these documents carefully.
Yeah. No, for sure. I study. Closely study. Every software user agreement I get. That's a joke. I really just click agree as fast as I can.
Thank you, Maya. We hope to see you back soon.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Bye.
Session complete.
Well, look who's got access to transparency mode all of a sudden.
The client asked for it by name. I guess she heard about it somewhere and wanted it. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, we don't really talk about it right now. It's a little sensitive. It's possible Skanda contacted her directly. They recruit for the program from a pool of regular customers. Usually, transparency mode is only handled by the highest level proxies, since there's a lot of trust
Whoa.
required there. But you were given access to it right after the request. It's a little odd. I wonder if someone at HQ hasn't taken a particular interest in your proxy career.
You mean Reina
Or
Versio?
maybe Eliza just likes me.
It would, wouldn't it?
I never thought people would willingly open themselves up like this. Aren't there a lot of very private things in people's messages?
Yes and no. The truth is usually pretty mundane. People text each other, "Where are you? I'm by the elevator," way more than they share their deep dark secrets. The critics who are always going on about privacy, Well, the important thing is that everyone participating in transparency mode specifically agreed to it. It's completely voluntary. We're upfront about what data we collect and how we use it so people...
That's good. I'd hate to see it misused.
Yeah.
Yeah, the media would jump all over us. There are a lot of people who want to see us fail for whatever reason. Just something that happens when you try to change things. Some people get so used to their misery, they can't imagine it any other way. Anyway, you should get an email about it, but transparency mode is really straightforward. It's even simpler than being a proxy, which is saying something.
Really?
You just read a few messages and answer some questions. That's it. You can start it whenever you're ready.
Sure.
It's so grey out there. Okay, and the ice machine. Compared to this water that was in the conference room, SCADA headquarters. Funny how there's an appropriate level of fanciness for everything. Right. I'm sure Nora would have something to say about that. So she really gave us a permission to look at her messages. That is a bit straightforward, yeah, open. Yeah. I feel like just a few years ago, even the idea of something like this would have been controversial. But she was fine with it. She wanted it. Okay. Let's check. Okay. So, introduction to the transparency mode. So, here we're going to probably learn what transparency mode actually means. Okay. Dear Evelyn Ishino-Aubrey, congratulations. You've been selected to contribute additional information to Eliza's learning corpus with access to a special feature called transparency mode. How transparency mode works: 1. You will be presented with a snapshot of a client's personal communications. We review these communications and determine the client's mental state. So we're going to review the client's state, okay? 2. Eliza will also create a model of the client's mental state. Okay, so Eliza does it as well. 3. Eliza will ask a few questions designed to check its model against you for understanding the client. Do you guys remember me talking about there are two different types of AI? More focused and narrow, and then there was one generic or general intelligence. So 3. Eliza will ask a few questions designed to check its model against your understanding of the client. So this is the narrow AI, because we're going to basically teach Eliza what's right and what's wrong. So in future sessions, it will be able to determine it on its own. How do I know if I'm doing a good job at transparency mode? A. Carefully consider the material provided to you and sincerely answer questions created by Eliza's model. Your input is valuable whether it agrees or disagrees with Eliza. Yeah. What privacy rules and regulations apply to the information I see in the transparency mode? SCADA takes a personal privacy very seriously. As a proxy, you've already agreed to a strong non-disclosure and other agreements to protect our customers' privacy. These agreements and protections also apply to the information presented in the transparency mode. Question: does SCADA have the right to show me another citizen's private communications? Yes. Participants' clients have signed waivers giving us permission to retrieve the information to better assist them as part of our ongoing research. Good question, and it's true. If a citizen wants to give you information, then it's legal. However, before we continue, I need to take a break here, or actually end the stream. So we will do probably last hour, maybe last 2 hours next time, maybe even tomorrow. So thank you for everyone who's been lurking here, and I'll see you in the next session.